Federal government allays fear, says Lagos domain long flyover safe for commuters. Governor Godwin OBASEKI bars his deputy Philip SHAIBU from Edo Government House. Plus, climate protesters throng New York, demand end to fossil fuels. Hello and a warm welcome. This is News Live on Viewer Television. I am Chinonso Pam. And now President Bola Tinubu has arrived in New York for the high-level meeting of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Newsmen report that Tinubu arrived at the JF Kennedy International Airport in New York at about 6:45 p.m. local time. The president is leading the Nigerian delegation to attend the scheduled events of the General Assembly from September 18th to 26th in what is his first outing in his capacity as the President of Nigeria. The President was received by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugar, the permanent representative of Nigeria to the United Nations, Ambassador Tijani Mohammed Bande, and Major General Dangana Alu, Nigeria's defense attaché, Washington, D.C. This time, only 3 officials were there at the airport to receive the president with the other Nigerian officials stationed at the UN Plaza, Millennium Hilton Hotel, to welcome him. And the Minister of Labor and Employment, Simon Lalong, says the past industrial actions by labor unions has had adverse effect on the country's economy. The minister stated this in his remarks as the scheduled meeting with the leaders of the Nigerian Labour Congress in effort to stop them from embarking on another industrial action commenced in Abuja. Lalong promised to partner with Labour to address the demands of the labor unions in a just and balanced way. He appealed to the labor leaders to be realistic and frank in the discussions as he expressed optimism that the meeting will lead to a resolution that will be of national interest. In his response, the president of NLC, Joe Ajauro, said his team is in the meeting with mixed feelings whether something will happen or not, as many similar meetings in the past never yielded any positive response. And the Chief Judge of the Federation, Justice Olukayode Ariola, has charged judges and justices to be abreast with the current issues in the telecom industry to ensure fair adjudication. The Chief Judge spoke during the 2023 National Workshop for Judges and Justices on Telecom Issues organized by the Nigerian Communications Commission in collaboration with the National Judicial Institute held in Kano. He said the workshop is very timely, especially with the advancement of the telecom industry. Ariwola added that the event would serve as an avenue where challenges affecting the communications sector would be deliberated and modalities of addressing the challenges would be fine-tuned. In his remark, the Executive Vice Chairman of NCC, Professor Umar Danbata, said the workshop was aimed at ensuring fair adjudication on issues related to communication as NCC was working assiduously towards the review of Nigerian Telecommunications Act. And the Lagos State Federal Controller of Works, Olu Korende Kesha, has assured road users that the domain long flyover at Jibowu bus stop is structurally okay and safe for use. Kesha, in a statement, urged the public to disregard a social media video insinuating that a section of the bridge connecting Ikorodu Road to Western Avenue was in critical condition, requiring urgent attention. She said in response to the allegation, she led her team of engineers on physical assessment of the bridge to ascertain the claim, but discovered that the flyover was okay. The controller said it was discovered that the section on which there was speculation was in good condition as the bridge bearings at that location and all other sections were observed to be structurally sound. And the governor of Katsina State, Diko Rada, said his administration has employed 7,326 teachers for the state's basic and secondary schools, underscoring his dedication to depoliticizing the educational system. Rada disclosed this during an exclusive interview with newsmen. The governor said a thorough screening process was used to produce the employment figure and that World Bank representatives had also acknowledged it. He reiterated his commitment to ending political activities in the education sector, as he claimed that the hiring decisions in the past frequently were made without regard to an applicant's qualifications. The governor reaffirmed that those times are now behind the state's recruitment process for educators. And when News Live returns, the leadership of the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide said it will not tolerate any form of bloodshed before, during, and after the forthcoming governorship elections in Bayelsa State. Details of this and more comes to you right after the break.
In this 21st century, where all the information we need is now in the palm of our hands. News from around the world, entertainment, celebrity gossip, sports, and much more. The only thing that you need is the right source. Viewer TV is now on the go. Simply check us out on our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter for all the information you need.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm at the Envoy Hotel, Diplomatic Drive 305, here for a business weekend. It's been an amazing stay. Conference hall and business facilities here are stylish and innovative. The Envoy Hotel is luxury, esoteric, opulence, for ultimate comfort.
travelers, we are more than just a place to stay. We are an icon of comfort, style, and thoughtful luxury. We are Envoy Hotel.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is News Live. Now a recap of our top stories. The federal government allays fears, says Lagos domain long flyover safe for commuters. Governor Godwin Obaseki bars his deputy Philip SHAIBU from Edo Government House. Plus, climate protesters throng New York, demand end to fossil fuels. And now the crisis of confidence between the Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki, and his deputy, Philip SHAIBU, took a new twist on Monday following the decision of the governor to look out his estranged deputy from the government house. SHAIBU got the shock of the moment when he got to his office and found that the gate to the office to the deputy governor and the main entrance leading to the story building was locked with chains and heavy padlocks. While he and his aides waited for about an hour before leaving, SHAIBU during the period reportedly made frantic efforts to reach the governor, but to no avail. An aide to the deputy governor, who made the pictures available to the public under anonymity, disclosed that his principal had some discussions with the commissioner of police and the director, state services, alerting them of how he was locked out from his office. According to him, there was no official communication to the effect that the deputy governor's office had been locked. And the leadership of the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide said it will not tolerate any form of bloodshed before, during, and after the forthcoming governorship elections in Bayelsa State. To this end, the council called on politicians involved in the November 11th governorship election in the state to play by the rules and avoid beating the polity. The IYC, in the communique signed by its president, Dr. Alhaji Theophilus, urged politicians to shun acts that are capable of creating tension in the state, even as the election draws closer. While commending the federal government and other organizations for their support to victims of floods in the region, IYC said there must be construction of critical drainage systems and dredging of flood-prone communities in the region to permanently address the issue. And in Bauchi State, Ministry of Women Affairs and Child Development, in collaboration with the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, has organized a one-day gender-based violence technical working group meeting for stakeholders as a step to ensuring a multi-sectoral approach to the SGBV management in the state. The aim of the meeting, according to the Gender Dex Officer of the Ministry, Esther Patrick, was to ensure a synergy of reporting cases of GBV between various stakeholders for easy accessibility into the national dashboard. And our Bauchi State correspondent, Awal Hassan, completes the story.
The Bauchi State Ministry of Women Affairs and Child Development has so much concern about sexual and gender-based violence in the state, as it continues to make moves geared towards ensuring proper management of GBV cases. Gathered here are various stakeholders who have a common goal in an effort to address gender issues.
GBV cases cannot be handled by one sector. It has to do with multi-sectoral. The police is here, the security is here, the justice is here, education is here, health is here, traditional leaders are here, religious leaders are here. So by the time we have case of GBV, we refer from one point to the other so that we easy the job on a particular sector. But with the multi-sectoral, everybody has a role to play, and that will even soften the work, and that will also give a smile and hope to our survivor.
According to the Gender Desk Officer, Minister of Women Affairs, Esther Patrick, a consensus has been reached at the end of the technical working group meeting.
Every data being collected at any point at the end of the day, should be reported back to the Ministry of Women Affairs so that we impute it into the national dashboard. And we've taken them through the incidence form and the consent form that has been approved by the national, from the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs in the whole country.
Also, the United Nations Population Fund UNFPA has commended Bauchi State Ministry of Women Affairs and Child Development for developing GBV referral pathways at various local governments within the state, which provide support in different ways.
Bauchi State is a moving train. Each time I come to Women Affairs, I tell them we are moving very fast until we go to the national. That's when we know what is happening in Bauchi State. So I just want to encourage us, because many times I see proposals, I see requests for proposals. There are lots of funding for gender-based violence, a whole lot of funding. Please, let's take advantage of it.
One of the participants says she has something to take home from the meeting.
My take home from today's meeting is the need to strengthen the use of the incidence form across all service provision units. It's something that we've started doing already, and I'm happy that the ministry is championing that important data collection too.
Awol Hassan, Viewer TV News, Bauchi.
And the Nigeria Customs Service, Adamawa and Taraba State Command have intercepted smuggled goods worth over 19.4 million naira in the month of August 2023. The Customs Area Controller in charge of Adamawa and Taraba State's Command, Comptroller Salihu Abdullahi, disclosed this to newsmen while displaying the seized items in Yola. The items recovered include 200 pieces of raw donkey skin, 127 bags of foreign rice, and 12,355 liters of premium motor spirit packed in 25 and 35-liter jerry cans. Abdullahi assured that the command will continue to double its efforts in ensuring that smuggling activities within its area of coverage are drastically reduced.
Due to align with the presidential mandate, security, economy, job creation, agriculture, infrastructure to develop the country, and in line with the policy thrust of the Acting Controller General of Customs, CGC Bashir Adewale Adeni, MFR, appropriate collection of revenue, prevention of smuggling, and trade facilitation. The command will not rest on its oars until the menace of smuggling is significantly suppressed. The uninterrupted combative patrol by the enforcement unit of the command, the Federal Operation Unit, and the strong support of our intelligence unit, CIU and SIS, at all nooks and crannies and our adjoining territorial borders, had really yielded a huge success of the numerous seizures of items made so far.
And the Nigerian Bar Association Gombe branch is reacting to the alleged assault on their chairman by a police officer attached to one of the banks in Gombe State Capital. An emergency congress, the NBA, has begun rolling out steps towards addressing the alleged assault. And our correspondent Christopher Luca tells us more.
The Nigerian Bar Association in Gombe State has condemned the alleged police assault on their chairman, Barrister Benjamin Sati. This emergency congress, summoned by the body of lawyers in the state, has constituted a 7-man committee to investigate the matter and report in 7 days.
We are just coming out from an emergency meeting, and the Congress has unanimously resolved that we should constitute a committee, and a committee of 5 men has been constituted to go and look into this matter and report back to the members at our next meeting.
Going down memory lane, the lawyers lamented how, over the years, the police allegedly assaulted their members with impunity, drawing attention to the wider issues of police harassment reported by other members of the public.
We have not reached that stage yet, We had wanted to take a particular position on the matter, but one of our respected senior members said no, we should constitute a committee. So I don't want to preempt the committee. So I don't know whether the committee will say criminal action should be taken or a civil suit should be filed. So I don't want to preempt them.
As the committee's investigation is underway, the Nigerian Bar Association Gombe State Branch, aside seeking justice for its victimized chairman, also hopes to proffer solutions to the immediate and remote cases of alleged police brutality in Gombe State and the nation at large. Christopher Luka, Viewer Television News, Gombe.
And you're still watching News Live on Viewer Television. Business, international, and entertainment news comes to you right after the break. Do stay tuned.
The game of polo, it's my life. Polo is good. Though I just started and I'm still learning the basics. But I hope to be a pro in this game, and God being by my side, I know everything will be fine. I started 4 months ago. I started stick and ball 4 months ago, though I attended the riding course in Pakistan. I've learned the riding basics, but the game of polo 4 months ago, I started stick and ball. Every day we mount on the horse, we pray. And once you come down, as you can see, I was about ending and I fell from the horse. It's a normal thing. In horse riding, if you don't fall, you've not started yet. So you need to train. You can see I'm sweating, I'm eating banana, it's part of it. You must train, you must eat well, and you must learn properly. I've chosen polo to be my own sport, and I've always looked up to people like General Kazil Fire, General MSA Aliu, Colonel Waibello, and General Laka. A few of them, I've looked up to these people. These are great polo players, and they've always encouraged me to play the game of polo.
Thanks for staying with us on Business News tonight. 23 Nigerian states grew bilateral loans by 64.26% in 6 months to $462.81 million as of the end of June. Most of the loans were taken from China, India, France, and other countries. This was despite the persistent fall of the naira, making dollar-denominated loans more expensive. In June 2023, the Central Bank of Nigeria directed deposit money banks to remove the rate cap on the naira at the official investors and exporters window of the foreign exchange market. Consequently, the naira fell from 471 naira to a dollar to 750 to a dollar as of the end of June 2023 and had continued to fall. The increase in bilateral loans show the growing appetite for this type of loans by state governors. According to external debt data from the Debt Management Office, 23 states increased their borrowing from China, Exim Bank of China, and India, France, Agence Française Development, Japan International Cooperation Agency, and Germany. And the rise in the cost of crude oil, coupled with the depreciation of the naira against the United States dollar, might lead to a hike in the pump price of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol. Oil marketers stated this on Sunday. It was also gathered that the sharp rise in crude oil price to about $94 to a barrel and the crisis around Forex had warranted a gradual increase in the amount being quietly spent as subsidy on petrol by the federal government. Dealers in the downstream oil sector explained that the cost of crude oil and the exchange rate of the dollar accounted for over 80% of the cost of PMS. Brent crude, the global benchmark for oil, rose to $94 a barrel on Sunday, the highest figure in 2023. Oil had started the year at about $82 to a barrel, dipped by $70 to a barrel in June, but traded above $92 to a barrel in the past week. The report stated that the naira fell further against the dollar the preceding day, which was Wednesday, after closing at $950 at the parallel market. And an officer of APM Terminals Nigeria, Frederick Klinke, said the deployment of technology can increase the capacity and efficiency of operations in the ports. Speaking on the sidelines of the Nigerian Ports and Trade and Investment Forum 2023 held in Lagos, Klinke told technology can help build collaboration between government agencies and the private sector to find common solutions to the challenges facing supply chain in the country. He added that APM Terminals has deployed software solutions that allow customers to interact with its staff online, thereby reducing physical interactions at the port. Speaking earlier, the Chief Financial Officer of APM Terminals Nigeria, Courage Obadagboyi, advocated synergy between government agencies operating at the port, noting that inter-agency collaboration will ensure effective service delivery to port users and strengthen the supply chain. And gas retailers have warned that the price of 12.5 kg cooking gas may hit 18,000 naira by December if the federal government does not restrict the activities of the terminal owners. The president, Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Olatuponson Oladapo, told newsmen that the price of liquefied petroleum gas, also known as cooking gas, has gone astronomically high at terminals as a result of a sudden increment from between 9 to 10 million per 20 metric tons to 14 million per 20 metric tons. Olatunponsu said there was no justification for the increment as the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Limited still supplied the market. Recall that there was a hike in cooking gas prices in August as prices had since shot up, with 12.5 kg cylinder of cooking gas going as high as 10,000 naira, although gas terminal owners did not have a visible association spokesperson for the NavGas, Friday Agu, and NIPCO PLC's Aske Kuma blamed the hike on Forex and international markets. And on the international scene, tens of thousands of people took to the streets of New York calling for increased action against climate change ahead of the opening of the UN General Assembly. Taking up multiple city blocks, protesters from some 700 organizations and activist groups carried signs reading, "Biden and fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are killing us," and added in, "Vote for fires and floods." In a demonstration that came on the heels of a summer marked by multiple climate change-linked disasters, U.S. President Joe Biden is among the world leaders set to attend the UN General Assembly, which is scheduled to formally open on Tuesday. A UN climate report released this month named 2025 as the deadline for global greenhouse gas emissions to peak, followed by a sharp drop thereafter if humanity is to cap global warming in line with Paris Agreement targets.
Grow up in that's being decided for us, and it's a world that doesn't seem to be safe for us. It's a world that we feel left out of, and a world that we're gonna have to deal with. And so instead of just giving up and letting that world be decided for us, we're actually mobilizing in the streets to make sure that our leaders know that they cannot do that, and that we will do everything in our power necessary to take the power we need in order to inherit a world that is dignified and safe for all people, not just a wealthy few. We are making sure that we are bringing a message to our leaders that we cannot tolerate any more fossil fuel development in this country or anywhere else.
And Ukraine plans to sue Poland, Hungary, and Slovakia in the World Trade Organization over bans on Ukrainian agricultural products. Ukrainian officials said the appeal could be sent in the near future, a senior official said, and followed a decision by the three countries bordering Ukraine to ban imports of the country's key export commodities. Politico had quoted Ukrainian Trade Representative Taras Kaki as saying in an interview that Kiev planned to sue the three countries. Restrictions imposed by the European Union in May allowed Poland, Bulgaria, Hungary, Romania, and Slovakia to ban domestic sales of Ukrainian wheat, maize, rapeseed, and sunflower seeds, while permitting transit of such cargoes for export elsewhere. Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary announced their own restrictions on Ukrainian grain imports on Friday after the Executive European Commission decided not to extend its ban on imports into Ukraine's 5 EU neighbors. And the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen visited Lampedusa, the small Italian island struggling with a surge in migrant arrivals, to lay out an EU action plan. Von der Leyen was accompanied by Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who has made fighting illegal immigration a cornerstone of her rise to power. Nearly 126,000 migrants have arrived in Italy so far this year, almost double the figure by the same date in 2022. Lampedusa has recently seen a sharp rise in the number of people arriving by boat, with more than 7,000 landing in the last week alone, more than the island's permanent population. On their way to visit a migrant reception center, von der Leyen and Meloni's car was briefly blocked by locals protesting the burden placed on the island and opposing a plan to build new tent camps to host migrants.
But we will decide who comes to the European Union and under what circumstances, and not the smugglers and traffickers. The most effective measure to counter the smugglers' lies are legal pathways and humanitarian corridors. We will offer migrants real alternatives through these humanitarian admissions.
And the U.S. military has asked the public to help it find a missing $160 million F-35 fighter jet after a pilot ejected from the aircraft because of a mishap. The F-35B Lightning II jet went missing over South Carolina on Sunday afternoon, according to a social media post from Joint Base Charleston. The pilot ejected safely and was taken to a nearby hospital in stable condition. A representative for Joint Base Charleston told newsmen it was possible the F-35 could still be airborne because it was in autopilot mode when the pilot ejected. Search teams were focusing efforts in Lake Montree and Lake Maroon, north of the base, the representative said. People with information that could assist in the recovery effort have been urged to call Joint Base Charleston's Defense Operations Center. And entertainment news tonight, lawmaker threatens 10 billion suit against Venita, organizers of BBN reality show. The member representing Makurdi Gumi Federal Constituency of Benue State in the House of Representatives, Honorable Dixon, has threatened to slam a 10 million naira lawsuit against Big Brother Niger All-Stars housemate Venita Okpofure and the organizers of the reality show for defaming the Thief Nation. Venita has been under the fire after she asserted in the reality show that Thief men give their wives to visitors for entertainment purposes. Her assertion sparked outrage among the thief people of north-central Nigeria, with many calling for legal action against her. Consequently, Honorable Taikige said Veneta and the Big Brother Niger brand should be sued for giving her the mega platform to defame the thief tribe. A Nigerian artist, Stanley Omadidia, popularly known as Omale, has revealed that his sudden fame affected his mental health. Omale said it was a jump. At first, he struggled, and it put him in a bad mental state because he was still trying to learn his ways. However, with time, he got more comfortable and learned that he is running his race and that he should move at his own pace. He disclosed that there was pressure. He was expected not to move from one crappy laptop or spending all his life in the studio to being a global superstar. The Afro music superstar said he had no issues coming out to the public to talk about his vulnerabilities. And singer Teniola Apata, aka Tenny, has revealed how traumatic witnessing her father's assassination was. Her father, Simeon Apata, a retired Nigerian Army Brigadier General, was assassinated by gunmen on January 8, 1995 in Lagos. Tenny said she was just 2 years old when the incident happened in their living room. She added that her father was a disciplinarian, a big philanthropist, and was the proprietor of Apata Memorial High School. The singer also revealed that growing up with her father passing at such a young age, the trauma of losing him has affected her. She said the passing away of her father robbed her as a child of having a father figure. And that's all on News Live, but before we go, a recap of the headlines. The federal government allays fears, says Lagos Domain Long Flyover is safe for commuters. And Governor Godwin OBASEKI bars his deputy, Philip SHAIBU, from Edo Government House. And plus, climate protesters throng New York, demand end to fossil fuels. And many thanks for watching. I am Chinon Supam. Please do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.